Hello people, how are you today? My name is Mikhaila Valletta, also known as the Renaissance Amazon, and I'm live on my Instagram. If you're watching, you probably already know who I am, but just in case you don't, I have a background in exercise and sports science and nutrition science, and I'm a holistic healthcare practitioner. I have a background in body sciences, and my approach is holistic and as connected to nature as possible. I just wanted to make a quick video just to let you know why you should follow me on my other Instagram and YouTube page, The Body Scientist, just in case you don't, because on my YouTube page, The Renaissance Amazon, I have about almost 56,000 followers, but on my Instagram, The Renaissance Amazon, I have about 22,000, but on my YouTube, The Body Scientist, I have 8,000 people. Okay, so I just wanted to make a quick video to tell you why you should follow me on my page, The Body Scientist. A lot of you compliment my skin, or you compliment my body, and you ask me, how did you get this like this, or how did you stay in shape like that, or how did you get your skin like that? I get questions like that all the time. But the thing that a lot of people don't realize, even people who say they've been following me for years, is that this is what I do. Okay, so I'm a walking billboard for what I do on every level. It's all about showing and proving. Okay, I practice what I preach, and I've been doing it my whole adult life. And also I have clients that I've been working with all over the world for years with a variety of health issues. Okay, and I use holistic methods for that to help people restore their body, to help to restore it to a good balance, because a lot of times people's bodies are off balance when you have different illnesses and issues. So I help people do that, and I also help them become the best version of themselves and to take their body to its highest level, because that is what I've committed my life to. So if you want to learn more about those things, okay, and not the propaganda, because some of you may have heard me say this before, but the graduate program I was in for physiology, applied physiology and nutrition at Teachers College at Columbia University in New York, was the only program in the country that did not take money from the food industry. Okay, so they made us very aware of the politics in science. Okay, and I did a video where I was talking about that yesterday, so I won't get into that, and I have other videos where I speak about that. I consistently hear nurses and herbalists and people who have no background in this area talking about nutrition. I want to say that nurses are not nutritionists. I have never once in my life heard a nurse give good nutrition advice. And I'd be wishing people would stay in their lanes, because I know about medications, but I'm not a doctor, I'm not a pharmacist, and I'm not a nurse. So I would never recommend anything when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into a conversation. If I have a nurse right next to me, I'm not going to start talking to somebody about meds and what's the best meds to use for certain things, because that's not my field, right? So everybody thinks they're a nutrition expert. I constantly hear laymen's and other people who just don't have a background in this at all giving nutrition advice, and it is wrong. Okay, I did a video years ago talking about why you need, not years ago, sorry, like I think last year, I did a video titled "Why You Need to Be Careful with Who You Get Your Nutrition Advice From." Okay, because what you don't know when it comes to your health, what you don't know can hurt you. If you are following somebody, listening to their advice, and they could be well-intentioned, but if they don't know what they're talking about and you follow them, you can mess up your health. And I've had many clients who've come to me after years of being a vegan, or years of drinking soy milk, or and then their hormones are all out of whack, and their body's out of whack, and the man has man titties, and the woman lost her ass, and and prevention is so much better. Okay, it's better to not have that happen in the first place. All right, and my whole adult life, I've been avidly researching. You see all the books that I show you all the time. I have way more books than what I even show you. So when I tell you I've dedicated my life to it, I'm dead serious. Okay, and I believe that everything that we need to be healthy and be our best version of ourselves and keep our body in balance, nature has given us. Okay, And we get this from the plants and the animals, okay? It's not just about the plants, okay? There are medicinal animal foods too. And there are lots of medicinal animal foods, all right? So also, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to vitamins, people are giving people advice, oh, take vitamin D. No, you don't want to take vitamin D, okay? You should watch my vitamin D videos. You'll learn a lot. Watch my vitamin A videos, So I just wanted to tell you, you can do what you want because I'm going to be good regardless. But if you're somebody who's serious about your health and you really want to know the truth and you don't want to listen to people with half-baked ideas who haven't really done their research. I constantly hear people say, do your research. A lot of people don't know how to research, okay? A lot of people do horrible research. You have to know how to vet your sources. You have to know how to critically think, analyze, dissect, okay? Ask questions. You have to know how to look at who is telling you this, okay? So it's not just enough to tell somebody do your research and you don't have good research skills, okay? The public school that I went to, I'm a product of New York City public schools, okay? And I got a great education, and my high school was completely against standardized tests, In New York, there's a test called the Regents that you took every year in every subject. My school was against that. They were against textbooks, so we didn't use history textbooks. In fact, that back then in the 90s, they were talking about Texas and how Texas controls the textbooks and how Texas controls what goes in the textbooks. So if Texas doesn't want something in the textbook, it won't be in the textbook because since Texas is the largest state, they buy the most textbooks. They determine what goes in it. So I always had a bad taste in my mouth when it came to Texas because I thought, oh, Texas people are slow. Now, no offense if you're from Texas because I'm not saying that I believe this now. But I definitely thought that back then, okay, in the 90s. Because Texas had like the highest high school dropout rate. And I just felt like Texas people were slow and, that it wasn't a smart state. And, they're responsible for all the propaganda. That part could be true, that they are responsible for a lot of it. So my high school would give us primary documents and artifacts, not history textbooks. We didn't have one in the whole school. They gave us primary documents and artifacts. They told us, think like a historian, use your critical thinking skills. They told us this every single day. And I didn't understand back then why they told us this every day until I grew up and realized mad people do not have critical thinking skills. It's lacking, okay? So when it comes to our health, this is what I say. There's nothing new under the sun, okay? People have not been eating salad and drinking kale juice and eating milk and burgers made from macadamia nuts. That's not something that people have been eating for generations. But people have been eating beef and people have been eating bacon and eggs and broth and meat on the bone and some spinach cooked in butter and some greens simmered for a long time. People have been eating that for generations. And despite what people think, we are not healthier now than we've ever been. We are actually sicker now than we've ever been. So if you want to follow someone and listen to someone who is well-researched, balanced, and will constantly give you sources for you to go look at yourself, okay? Not stuff written by the fraud Sebi, okay? I got a whole YouTube video about him. I am not a Sebi fan at all, so don't tell me what he said because it's a bunch of nonsense. Don't respect the man. Not Layla Africa, none of that, okay? Real shit. So I'm just saying, you can do what you want, but if you're serious about being as healthy as you can, because people will say things like, oh, well, we're going to die anyway. Yeah, you are. But do you want to live the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years of your life in chronic pain and having this problem and that problem is messing up your quality of life? I know I don't. We got different priorities. But for me, when I was 18, I promised myself that I was going to do everything I could to age as gracefully as possible and to not fall apart. It's not inevitable that as you age, you have to fall apart. It depends on what you do, what you're doing to upkeep your body. There's a lot of things that I know. There's a lot of things that I do. I will always continue to share it with people and those of you who want the information will give it. I've had plenty of people thank me for, listening to my advice. So I'm just letting you all know. I give out plenty of free info on my other page, TheBodyScientist81 on my YouTube channel, and then my other Instagram page, _body_scientist. So I'm just telling you, you want to really learn and dig deep and really be healthy and get information to help you and your family, whether it be your kids or your parents, maintain optimal health. Definitely pay attention to what I post on those pages, okay? Have a good day. Thank you for listening. And bye. Bye.